Hey, yo, what up? Um, Mandalorian episode 2, season 3, episode 2. Um, I know it came out a couple of weeks ago, but I finally got around to watching it. Uh, let's take a look and have a talk about what's going on in this episode. All right. So, um, we start off the episode with Amy Sedaris from Strangers with Candy, if you didn't know. And she's hustling this person here. Let's call him not Greedo. And it turns out she's working with the Jawas to hustle people. It looks they scavenge people's parts from their ships and their electronics or whatever, and and then they go to her to repair, and she buys the parts that they stole, only to put it back on the ship. Mando is looking for parts for the IG-11. Remember from the previous episode, and I'm just like, oh, I'm wondering. Okay, I get it, bro. You want a friend to back you up, but the droid is no good. It just tried to kill Grogu. Give it up. So in lieu of the actual parts for the droid, Amy Sedaris, I forget her name from the show, she offers to to sell him R2 Derp 2 as as I call it. It's an R5 unit, bootleg R2D2, and he reluctantly accepts. And of course, there's a slot for it in the top of his ship, of the Naboo fighter, and he goes. They take off, and for some inexplicable reason, there's fireworks going off. Um, we didn't get any hints as to some kind of celebration going off, but whatever. It is what it is. um, Maybe a hint of something to come. I don't know. Are they about to start singing, dancing with Ewoks or something? I have no idea what's going on here. So they cut to they didn't really play the intro song. They cut to the title of the episode, The Mines of Mandalore, aka the waters of Lake Minnetonka. So they land on Mandalore, or the ruins of Mandalore, that they think is inhospitable to human life or to sentient life. And instead of him and Grogu walking out, they send the droid. And the droid is like, hell no, I ain't going down that bitch. So he's like, you go, we'll stay in here. You go investigate. And the droid disappears off radar. They go to investigate, and they're ambushed by some group of cave people, which I assume are carnivorous, because they mentioned later on that they would have eaten them. They're okay. Hold on, let's get to the cave people here. All right, so the cave people ambush them, and he whips out the Darksaber, and he is still a klutz at using the weapon. It doesn't seem like he's been practicing at all. He still doesn't seem to know what he's doing or how to use the weapon. Before that happens, they're looking at the ruins of this Mandalorian city, or the society, which is pretty sad, to be honest. But you get to see the aftermath of what happens when you mess around with the Empire. you know. So yeah, this is another look. Oh, he stabs the Darksaber going into the cave dude. Fuck around, find out. That's what happens, bro. So they're exploring the cave on foot down below. Him and Grogu, they come across a Mandalorian helmet, which, as we find out in a couple seconds, is bait, and it's a trap. Cue the clip.
It's a trap.
And he gets captured by this big fuck off spider. That's my Australian accent. Big fuck off spider. So, and it doesn't seem like he's gonna get out of this, because this metallic creature seems to be designed to capture and kill Mandalorians. It based on how easily he was captured, and it looks like there's a ton of Mandalorian helmets. Whatever this thing is very adept at killing Mandalorians for whatever reason. Maybe it needs it for sustenance. Who knows? It seems to be organic, like at least in the helmet part, and it's disarming Din. It's throw away. It has no use for the gun. It throws that away. It throws away the Darksaber, tosses it to the ground, and Grogu is like kind of hiding in the side, and he actually tries to save Din, but he's making noise, and the spider monkey monster chases him off. And Din tells him to go and get Bo-Katan, who happens to be nearby in, I think they said it's I forget the name. It starts with a C. Some moon, the moon nearby where from the last episode. Grogu runs off. Well, not runs. He's in his little bubble speeder, and a cave creature tries to attack him. And Grogu's like, "Bitch, I'm a Jedi. Fuck out the way." You didn't know he were fucking with, did you? He just kind of tosses him out the way. He gets in the ship. Fortunately, they got this droid. Okay, come to think of it, if they had IG-11, maybe they wouldn't have been in this situation. Maybe Mando wouldn't have gotten caught. But fortunately, they did have a backup droid, which was this R5 unit, capable of flying Grogu off to the Bo-Katan's palace or whatever. And they show up at Bo-Katan. Bo-Katan's like, "Bitch, I thought I told you not to come back here. I told your ass not to come back here, and now we fit in a fight." But when she discovers that it's just Grogu and not Mando, she's like, "What the fuck happened?" And she starts singing a different tune all of a sudden. So they take off in her gigantic, cool-ass spaceship. But we need some kind of video game or something with this ship in there. And she goes to rescue Din Djarin. And it had the subsequent scene has to be, in my opinion, the most well choreographed action scene in all of the series. If I'm being honest, it was just magnificent. It was amazing. I loved it. And it just goes to show what a badass Bo-Katan really is, even more so than Din Djarin, I think. And they're planting a seed right here to let you know that Bo really is a lot more badass than Din, and setting up for her own show. She she takes out these cave people, and it just easily just dispatches them. And all right, so she makes her way down. She gets past these cave people, and we see that Din is about to get sucked dry of all his blood. Whatever this creature is some kind of carnivore maybe that has discovered a way to feed on Mandalorians. So we get to this kick-ass fight scene, right? And she's fighting against the spider creature that's outside. He's outside of the mech suit, and whatever this creature is, it looks like, she gets the best of it. She is exponentially better at using the Darksaber than Din is. She must have had practice somehow. It's just, I had to watch this scene like 5 times. I was just completely overwhelmed with how awesome this scene was. So she rescues Din. He gets his weapons back, and they walk off. And to find the and they come up to the if you didn't know, this is what the waters of Lake Minnetonka looks like. And now he must purify himself. So he takes off his weapons, his armor, his jetpack, and he walks into the lake, or whatever you want to call it. And before you know it, he fucking falls down. I'm not sure if he got sucked down by a creature, aka in episode 4. Remember when they're in the trash compactor? But I don't know. I don't know what happened. I think he just fell. Maybe he thought there was actual footing there, but there wasn't, and he just straight down. And of course, for the second time in the show, he has to be rescued by Bo-Katan. Bo-Katan immediately dives in after him to rescue, and apparently jetpacks work underwater. It's a pretty cool thing. I mean, when I was a kid watching Return of the Jedi, watching Boba Fett with that jetpack was just the coolest fucking thing I had ever seen. And there's a part of the reason why I was so looking forward to that show. Let's not talk about that show. She rescues Din Djarin, who is at the bottom of the lake, and she's swimming back up. Din Djarin is unconscious, and she sees this creature down there, which is actually the creature of lore from that gives if you notice that on the Mandalorians, they have this skull all over the place. In previous episodes, you see a skull. They have icons on their armor. This is the creature called the Mythosaur, and there's a whole lot of lore. Very interesting if you want to look up the backstory of the Mandalorians online. There's a bunch of videos explaining it, and the first Mandalorian, I think I just watched a video actually. He's called Mandalore the First. He tamed one of these massive creatures, and he used it, I guess, to conquer the planet of Mandalore. Everything is named after him. The Mandalorians, the planet of Mandalore. His name was Mandalore the First, and he rode one of these creatures. Very important and significant creature in the lore of the Mandalorians. They get to the surface, and so for whatever reason, the creature did not attack them. Maybe the creature thinks that maybe wasn't hungry, but I'm told that the creature has chosen Din Djarin, and that's why he didn't attack. The creature did not attack them. So they're at the surface, and Din Djarin wakes up, and Katie, aka Bo-Katan, neglects to mention that she saw this big fall-off creature. So Bo is asking him questions about what he saw down there, trying to figure out if he actually saw the Mythosaur. But he reveals that no, he didn't see anything. He was just, I guess, unconscious. No doubt she is trying to figure out some kind of way to manipulate this event into her benefit, possibly to find out how she can become the leader of the Mandalorians. I think she's trying to manipulate this situation into her own benefit, which ultimately is for the benefit of all the people or the survivors of Mandalore. Maybe they're trying to set him up as the reluctant leader of the Mandalorians, but we'll see how this works out. But maybe it'll play out into Bo-Katan's own series, which I'm really looking forward to. I hope they don't botch that up like they botched up Boba Fett. But yeah, honestly, I'm going to have to give this episode a 10 out of 10. I really, really enjoyed it. This is everything I wanted from an episode. It had some good lore. It had magnificent action, and it was not too long. So looking forward to the next episode. Please like, comment, and subscribe.